So, welcome back to another NFL predictions, aka the videos with my lowest view count. But I keep doing them because we're now 7 weeks in, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Anyway, so let's get started with tonight's game. Tonight's game kicking off Thursday night, the new week 7, is Broncos and the Browns. Now, at one point, I would say the Browns easily would take this, but the Browns have been snake bit this season. And it sucks, too, because they had a really good roster, and it's just been injury after injury. Nick Chubb is out. Kareem Hunt is possibly going to be out, but now I'm hearing reports maybe he'll be in. Baker Mayfield is being forced to sit out because of a torn labium, which hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker. And Case Keenum is being brought in. But the Broncos have shown that they're frauds. Great start. You got 3 of the easiest wins ever. You almost came back with the Steelers, but then you got completely ass-blasted by the inconsistent Raiders. I'm going to give this to the Browns slightly because I think they just have a better coaching staff, and I think they still have enough talent to limp through. I think they're at least I don't think they're going to win the division. I think it's starting to look towards someone else getting the division, but I do think they will once again get another wild card. I do think they are going to get a wild card in here. But the Browns are just going to be limping through, but they've suffered through worse. So anyway, I'm going to give this to the Browns, but it does look like a close game regardless. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Tennessee to take on my Tennessee Titans. Oh boy. We got a great upset from the Titans, who got an upset in overtime against the Seahawks, lost to the Jets, which I'm still not happy about, but then came back and beat probably the most dangerous team in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. I still think they are. The Chiefs, however, have been clearly just garbage. Patrick Mahomes is being clearly seen. They've clearly figured out how to stop Mahomes, and that defense is awful. You beat Kansas City, but that's after how bad Mahomes did in that first half. You came back, you made a comeback, and you're playing Washington, jackass. I like the Chiefs, and I still think that offense is dangerous, especially with Mahomes. But Tennessee showed that if we can take the Bills, we can take the Chiefs. However, I want to give this to the Titans, but even as a Titans fan, I have to acknowledge that even our defense can be inconsistent. Our offense might be able to score on, especially if we can just have Derrick Henry juggernaut his way through the Chiefs' garbage ass defense, which I'm starting to think might be worse than the Titans' defense. I'm going to give this slightly to the Chiefs, however, because again, it's Patrick Mahomes, and our defense might just decide to eat shit today. But you never know. I will note that every time I've picked against my Tennessee Titans, they've won the game. So who knows? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if I keep picking the Titans to lose, my team will win. Maybe I'm just it's a reverse jinx, something. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. Next up, you got the Washington football team against Green Bay. Washington, you're a bag of shit in a number of reasons. Your defense is awful. Your offense is garbage. Taylor Heineke is getting killed in the offensive line. Also, your owner is a piece of shit. Need I go on? And you're going to Lambeau. Now, that is to say, you're going to Lambeau to take on a very injured Packers team. But still, they still have Aaron Rodgers, and they're getting, I believe, David Bakhtiari is coming back. I do believe some other members are coming off of IR and going to be active for this list. And also, the Packers just have talent. They just have talent. Could this be a close game? Maybe because the Packers are dealing with injuries. But then again, this is Washington. So I'm going to give this to the Packers. Next up, we got the Bengals taking on the Ravens. Now, at earlier points, I would have said that the Bengals would have been crushed in this game. But however, in recent games, they took on the Lions, but then you saw they took on the Packers, who, they were injured, but they still had a lot of power behind that team. So, I still think that the Bengals, like, they still took it to the Bengals, even with, you know, the Packers were still a legitimate team, and they beat the Steelers, which were an aging core. I don't think they'll make it the playoffs. I don't even think they'll get a wild card, but this is clearly, like, they're getting stronger. I think they're getting stronger as a team. Then again, we all thought, you know, the Dolphins were going to have a breakout year after just missing the playoffs, even though they were 10-6, and they've completely self-destructed this season. So who knows? I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are an excellent combination, that LSU connection. I think their offensive line is getting better, as well as their defense. And I want to say, like, I don't expect them to win this game. I'm giving this to the Ravens, who in their own right are inconsistent. But I think the Ravens just have, like, of course, Lamar Jackson. I think that they are starting Le'Veon Bell. They have, like, some great offensive and defensive weapons. Even if they're 5-1, but they're wildly inconsistent sometimes. But the the best way to look at this is that the Bengals I think they might take it to the Ravens. I think there is a chance that the Bengals might be able to take this to the Ravens. I don't think they'll win, but I think they will make this a game. Having said that, I am giving this to Baltimore. Next up, you got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New York Giants. Giants, just give up. Just give. Not I'm saying because you're playing the Panthers, because the Panthers are eating a bag of shit right now as well. But you have literally no one. Who you got? Daniel Jones, a guy who makes Sam Darnold look good. And Darnold has done better under the Panthers than he has the Jets, but then again, that's not saying much. And Panthers, I had you going as like a wild card. I had you as a dark horse here, but you've clearly are not ready. I don't think you'll ever be ready. But yeah, having said that, I'm still giving it to the Panthers, not because you're a good team, because you're clearly showing yourself destructing after getting an easy 3 win, just like the Broncos. But the Giants are just wrecked to all hell. There's nothing there anymore. You're just going to be beating on the kid in the wheelchair. That's all you're doing. So Panthers, but yeah, congratulations, you get a free win. Next up, we got the Falcons taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have been a goddamn disappointment this year. A lot of people were thinking they were at least going to make it to the playoffs via wild card. They have and they had a lot of promise in that game against the Patriots. But since then, that's the moment where everyone gives up on you. When you gave the Jaguars their first win. I don't even know. God damn it. Excuse the background noise. That's someone's mowing the lawn out there. Anyway, Dolphins, I don't know what to tell you. You have no first-round drafts, and Tua might be traded to either Washington or the Denver Broncos. And you're also depending on a sex offender to carry you to the playoffs now with this Deshaun Watson stuff, which looks like it's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, that's how desperate you are, is when you have to get a sex offender to play for you. Falcons, you're no better. This is a tank bowl. This is a straight up tank bowl. The Falcons, they just have mild talent, but that defense is wildly inconsistent, as is that offense. I don't know what to tell you. This game could easily... The shit part is that this game could go either way. That's how bad we are looking at, is that this game could go either way. I'm giving it slightly to the Falcons because the Dolphins are clearly imploding here. So, I don't know what to tell you. So, again, it could go either way. It's like watching Battle of the Shit Heaps. Anyway... Next up, we got the second biannual teabagging of the New Jersey Jets at the hands of the New England Patriots. Oh boy! Like last time you played the Jets, like you played the Patriots Jets, you don't just get the Patriots, you get pissed off Patriots. Remember how angry they were when they lost the Dolphins by 1 point and salted the earth against you last time? Yeah, this is gonna happen again. this is happening again because they lost in overtime to the Dallas Cowboys. Yay. It's always fun to see, Patriots lose, but I'm giving the Patriots the win here because it's the Jets, and they're playing in Foxborough against a very pissed off Patriots team and a very angry Belichick. But I would love nothing more. I would laugh even harder. I would love to see like a come from behind win, or like the Jets just completely beat the Patriots by some goddamn miracle, and that would just really cement the Patriots are dead when they lose to the Jets. That would cement to everybody, you lost to the Jets. Trust me that you don't come back from that, speaking as a Titans fan. Anyway. Anyway, let's move on to our next game, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Raiders. Raiders, you're again a wildly inconsistent team, and you're still dealing with the fallout from those emails from Gruden. Eagles, you've just been bad. Like, you did make a comeback, but then the NFL had to give Tom Brady the win. So the Eagles got fucked on an imaginary taunting game, but that's not saying much. Like, there's not a lot of talent there. Jalen Hurts, while I think he's a good quarterback, Philadelphia is doing nothing to develop him. I don't know what to tell you. I'm giving this to the Raiders. It's a wildly inconsistent team, and I could easily see this go either way, but I am giving this to the Raiders. Next up, we got the walking embarrassment of the Detroit Lions, the last winless team in the NFL, taking on the LA Rams. Jared Goff and Matt Stafford take on their respective teams. Wow. Can you just imagine real quick like that? Like, Jared Goff went to the Lions against his will. That's actually what happened. He got traded without his knowledge till after the trade was done. And he basically got saddled into playing with the Lions at the last second. And now look at his team without him. And meanwhile, Matt Stafford's looking at his old team and like, glad I'm not over there anymore. So, yeah, you're going to continue to be winless Lions. Just lie down. Just lie down, tank. You were actually not... Everyone forgets this, but it wasn't the Browns that was the first team to go 0-16. It was actually the Lions was the first team ever to go 0-16. So maybe you should just be the first team to go 0-17 and just lie down, take the first round draft, maybe get some more draft picks. Just tank at this point. Just tank. Just tank. I'm giving this to the Rams. The Rams are going to murder the Lions. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears going to Raymond James Stadium to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would love nothing more than another upset of the Bears pulling an upset against the Buccaneers, but they're in Raymond James Stadium. They're going to be playing Tom Brady at his best, and the Bears the defense gets, it looked like it was clicking at some point, but then self-destructed against the Packers. And Justin Fields, while I do think he is a good quarterback, it's the same thing with Jalen Hurts, where the NFL is putting so much pressure on these new QBs without properly developing them, and they think, it'll be just like having Mac Jones is developing. I hate that. Justin Herbert is developing, but not every QB is going to be like Herbert or Jones right out the gate, going to be able to play. So, yeah, I'm giving this to the Bucs. I hope you're all enjoying but I will say that your defense is getting more and more shit, Bucs. I will say, you let the Eagles nearly come back, and if that wasn't for ref ball, you would have lost that game against the Eagles. So, who knows? Maybe the Bears will pull off another win, and maybe we can see Tom Brady be a goddamn diva. Who knows? Anyway, so next up we got the Texans. Another easy win for everybody. Taking on the undefeated Cardinals. Cardinals, you get another win. You're going to go 7-0 after this. Because, Texans are just going to continue to implode. And, Cardinals, you're just going to get another win. The real team that's really going to be a threat, I thought the Browns would be a threat, but then again, the Browns were just wrecked to all hell. So I think if they were healthy, the Browns would have put up more of a fight. But yeah, it was just not a good outing for the Browns. I think the first team that will give them the real challenge is going to be the Packers. Even despite the injuries, that Thursday night game against that Cardinals-Packers game, I think is going to be wild. And I think if any team outside of the Browns that could give them their first L, it's going to be the Packers. But right now, you're going to go 7-0. You are going to continue to be undefeated, Cardinals. Next up, we got a Sunday night game no one wants to watch. Indianapolis Colts taking on the 49ers. 49ers, you're starting Trey Lance, and you're also getting more and more injuries. Colts, you're no better. You're basically, they're starting to work on offense. Their defense needs a little work. That secondary is still a little troublesome. But Carson Wentz, who's working with 2 sprained ankles, when he's not on IR, he's actually, you remember, oh yeah, it's Carson Wentz. He's actually a good QB when you give him the right situation, and not when he's covered in injuries. So this is going to be a tough one to call, because again, I think the 49ers still, even though they are injured, it's much like with the Packers, where you give them enough time and they still have a lot of talent. But there's 2 teams that are just kind of like mediocrity at this point. I'm going to give this slightly to the 49ers because I think their defense is going to keep Carson down. I think they're just going to keep Carson down, and although I don't know how well Trey Lance is going to play under this kind of under this kind of pressure, the Colts are the only real threat to the AFC South in Titans-wise, for the Titans in the AFC South. So I would love nothing more than to watch the Colts lose, but this is a game, honestly, that could go either way. Who asked for this game, by the way, for Sunday night? I didn't. This feels like a Thursday night game. And finally, we have our Monday night game to cap off with 2 wildly inconsistent teams, the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, you've gotten so desperate, you're asking Cam Newton to play for you. Saints, I don't know what to think of you because sometimes you pull off an excellent dominating win, other times you shit the bed. This is like if you were to go into a dictionary and look up inconsistent, you would find pictures of these 2 teams. So I don't know. This is one where this is the toughest one to really think of who could really win in this situation, because both teams, they've got injuries, they've got it's really hard to gauge them. It really is. But I think I'm going to give this slightly to the Saints because I think their defense is going to just give Geno Smith or whoever the hell's playing just wild fits this whole time. I think Winston, the more he plays, the stronger he's getting. And yeah. So I'm going to give but again, this is a game that could go either way. So I'm going to give this one to the Saints. Yeah. But I think I am looking forward to that Thursday night game because I think that Packers-Cardinals game is going to be wild. Anyway, but that's for another time. So you guys comment below. Let me know what you guys think of these predictions. And once again, hope you all enjoy this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.